2011年，慈济人首度拜访，Simon 校长就一口气喝完环保杯中的饮料。
So where are we going today? We're going to go to the Gold Coast of Australia.
静思好话等等，让人文种子在伊普高中发芽。
You teach one child something, they learn something. You teach a teacher something, and that teacher can teach many children.
So here's a quick clip of the various activities the Gold Coast volunteers have been involved in promoting vegetarianism in various different places and contexts in the Gold Coast.
台新闻之声美职工彭云华、林孔龙、林玉彤，澳洲报道。
好，林孔龙师兄，他们有在画面上，但是呢。
So you've seen here, for example, one of the schools that the volunteers have been promoting vegetarianism.
与1年未见的伊普高中教职员相会，也与校长欢喜回忆当年小儿子与上人相约每年相聚的趣事。
So the volunteer sharing with us today is going to be Brother Lin Kongling. I'll call him Brother Lin later throughout the translation. I don't think he showed up in the video yet, but again, a few more videos of all the different places that the Gold Coast volunteers have been to promote vegetarianism, which we'll all go into a little bit more detail later in the sharing.
When you like it, okay? And this master for you. And then this for my personal.
So earlier you saw some of the local folks in the Gold Coast who were inspired by Tzu Chi and actually went back to Taiwan to meet Master. This lady right here actually had been diagnosed with cancer, and Tzu Chi volunteers made sure to provide their love and care for her as she fought her cancer.
我们看到画面上一直出现的3个影片，出现的澳洲的吴兆丰师姐，她现在呢应该也是在线上。兆丰师姐好，她是澳洲的第一颗种子，我们非常开心。2023年真的是明年即将成我们的分享嘉宾然后她会带着校长，还有我们的好朋友。外国的好朋友一起来上线跟我们分享这在澳洲里面的点点滴滴，我们非常的感恩。那也非常感恩我们的副负责人，也就是今天要上线的黄金海岸的副负责人。
So I think this next video here, this sister that you see on screen, I want to say was the first or one of the first Tzu Chi volunteers in Australia, and I think she's actually going to be sharing in one of our sessions next year. All right, so let's go to the Gold Coast and welcome our speaker, Brother Lin Kongling. I'll actually call him Brother Kongling. He is the Deputy Director of the Gold Coast Tzu Chi office. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Yep, we hear you.
师兄，对不起，我要打扰。您的简报要全。
From our Master Zheng Yin, Masters at the Abode and Global Family. Good day to everyone.
无私的爱对感恩付出，伊普市市长保罗肯定志工的贡献，把每年8月21日定为慈济日。此时上人辞世，数十八分饱。
So, with the 2011 Queensland floods, Tzu Chi volunteers went to the city of Ypres to give their love and care in many different ways, and were recognized by the mayor of the city, and through that had a lot of opportunities to promote vegetarianism, beginning with the city government. 品尝后，人人都赞不绝口。让志工受宠若惊的，就是所有的剩菜全部被打包。So, for example, you'll see here that city volunteers prepared something of a banquet for, I believe, it would have been the city government employees to let folks choose what they wanted to eat. They really, really enjoyed it to the point that they even brought all the leftovers home. And because of how well received this event was, we actually had gone on and set up a second such event. And actually, because of that connection, we got to connect with the state emergency service as well. And through this, I think we were able to do both a Buddha bathing or a Buddha bathing ceremony, in which we also shared about promoting vegetarianism, and also shared dye technology with them. So here on the slide, you can see that while we were in Ypres doing disaster relief, we also shared about promoting vegetarianism and provided them with really delicious vegetarian food so they could understand that even without meat, they could still really enjoy their meals. And through this, we actually saw that a lot of the folks at the events were very happy to connect with Tzu Chi a little bit more and help others through donations. Also, because of the different floods, we were able to get involved with one of the high schools in Ypres. And every year we had 2 events of teaching or promoting vegetarianism to the students and sharing about even cooking vegetarian foods. So students were very, very appreciative of this and of the meals, for example, and the food that they were able to, I believe, they were very appreciative of all of these events that we were holding and of the Tzu Chi volunteers, and they actually took what they learned about cooking vegetarian foods and prepared a little bit of a meal or a banquet for our Tzu Chi volunteers as well. And separately, the principal of the school actually was also, also felt very strongly about the importance of environmental protection. And because of this, actually changed the school's uniforms and hats to be created by dye technology, which of course uses a lot of materials that are more sustainable, or production processes and materials that are more sustainable for the earth. And so every year they actually place orders directly with Tzu Chi to acquire these uniforms and hats. So in 2014, we were invited by the mayor of Gold Coast, Tom, or rather, the mayor of the Gold Coast, Tom, went to the Jingsi Hall and joined the New Year's blessing event. And after that, invited Tzu Chi volunteers to go to the city government to promote vegetarianism, and even gave us a little team of 5 volunteers from their side to support our volunteers with setting up the event. And so in this event, we shared some of Tzu Chi's vegetarian foods that we have, for example, the easy prepared rice. And then we shared a lot about the stories and the history of Tzu Chi as well. And could really see that folks really both enjoyed the food and what they were able to learn about. So in addition to this, we were also able to get connected with the Gold Coast Coast Guard. And that was beginning in 2015, where I think we were connected with a ship commander. I'll just call him Ken, based on the translation here. And when that commander visited the Jingsi Hall, afterwards, he had invited the volunteers to come to, I believe, the Coast Guard Center to also hold a small-scale just vegetarian promotion event. And through this, we actually ended up having more of the Coast Guard visit the Jingsi Hall at some point for an event and connect further with them. And we could see that many of those Coast Guard individuals also felt very strongly about giving back and provided donations, and some of them even, for example, joined into some of our sign language events as well. Okay. So amidst the pandemic, despite the fact that, of course, it was very important to keep social distancing and it was much more difficult to interact with folks, we learned through Tzu Chi how important it was for everyone to just adopt a more plant-based diet and to reduce meat and animal products from their diet. And so we, as Tzu Chi volunteers, continue to do everything we could to promote that message, even given the challenging circumstances of the pandemic. Jumping a little bit, we could see that in 2019, September, there were just unprecedented wildfires, or in Australia, I think they call them bushfires, for a lot of the forests that continued through March of 2020 and spread across, I want to say, 6 states of Australia. And one of the earlier slides, you could see that Tzu Chi actually donated 2, I'll call them fire trucks. It might be more than just fire trucks, might also be for other disaster relief and prevention, but more or less these large style vehicles to the, I believe, the fire and emergency services in Queensland. Okay. So more and more shared here about things that we've done with, for example, the police department and with various hospitals. And in every opportunity we have, we share not only about vegetarianism, but about the stories of Tzu Chi, including, for example, the stories of the bamboo bank. So you can see here, there is a little bit of a breakfast event where we hosted all vegetarian foods as well. And the hospital staff were all very grateful for all of the support of Tzu Chi throughout the pandemic and to prepare a vegetarian meal for the Tzu Chi volunteers. So I believe it was earlier this year, we added yet another hospital where we start sending vegetarian meals now as well on a monthly basis. I want to say 50 meals every month. So the volunteers of Gold Coast will continue to follow the teachings in Tzu Chi, share the messages and the importance of vegetarianism with others, and connect with our community at the same time, while at the same time improving ourselves and continuing to learn the Dharma. And so this is my sharing for today. Thank you so much. So thank you so much to Brother Kongling for his sharing today. Even all the way out in Australia, we can see that with the dedication of the Tzu Chi volunteers, there is still so much that we can do wherever we are in the world. And we could see that Brother Kongling really put a lot of effort into this presentation. So let's thank him once again with a round of applause.
姐、林英开姐在线上可以留言，让我们一起知道。希望呢，更多往后的时间有我们。
And hope everyone in hearing the sharing can send all of your individual blessings as well.
OK， 那谢谢苏美玲、林玉莲还有玉婷呢。
And hope that in the future we can continue to hear more and more stories from the Gold Coast. Thank you again.
还有高雄的于婷来问候大家好，石金文清已经跟大家在线上的桃园的朋